Hey guys, okay, thanks for jumping on this call tonight. Now my dogs are going to start barking, of course. So yeah, we are going to start doing this every Sunday at 8 o'clock, unless something happens, of course, and we won't do it. But I want anybody that joins your team through the week, make sure they're plugged into this call every Sunday night. And it's not just for newbies, you're going to learn stuff on this call. Even if you've been on our team from the get-go, you're going to learn something on this call tonight that, maybe you've forgotten or maybe you have just gotten away from. So don't think just because it says it's for newbies that it's really, just for newbies, because it's not.
I can't plug this in.
Okay, well, ask your daddy. All right, guys, so make sure that you all have a pen and some paper, and make sure that you really take some good notes, because I promise you what I'm going to tell you tonight will help you. It will get you to where you want to go if you actually apply it. So there's a huge difference from, me just talking to you and telling you what you need to do. I can talk to you and tell you all day long, but if you don't apply what I tell you, it's not going to work. It's definitely not going to work. And I have been there. I have totally not applied things. And then you kind of stall out or whatever. And I realize what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm not even doing it. I'm not doing the work I need to do. So you have to do the work. This is simple, but it's not easy. I mean, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the work. All right. So hopefully you all have your pen and your paper. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask me, because I want to make sure that we all get everything answered. And we'll probably be on here for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. All right, guys. So again, this is our newbie call. We're going to do that every Sunday. So you're just getting started. What do you do next? First thing you want to do is you want to watch Brittany Beck's Getting Started video. Yes, I got that, April. Actually, that is in my notes. That was a biggie. I will definitely do that. Brittany's video, Getting Started video. Whenever you join or whenever you have a team person join, you want to make sure that's one of the very first things that you send them or that you watch. If you don't have her Getting Started video and her dose training video, make sure you ask your leader to get you those. And you want to save that in your phone so that you'll always have it, so that you'll be able to send it to your new people. Okay, so make sure that you're watching Brittany's Getting Started video and her dose training video. Okay, number 2, create your first curiosity post. Now, I'm going to go into posting a little bit more a little bit later, but that is number 2, create your first curiosity post. You want to remember the curiosity part there, okay? All right, number 3, you want to launch your business with a Facebook Live on your timeline. Launch your business with a Facebook Live. And I know some people are scared to death to do that, and I'm not a huge, I don't do those like all the time, and I need to do more myself, but I highly recommend doing them, because people who do them all the time, you get more followers that way, and people seem to watch videos way more than just reading your post, okay? So when you're on your Facebook Live, what do you share? You want to share, what you're doing. Maybe you came from a different company. You want to come on there and say, hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and tell you guys what has happened in the last few months or whatever. I have decided to resign from another company that I was with and have found this incredible opportunity that I know is just going to completely change my lives and the lives of so many other people. That's just kind of like an example of what you can do, but you want to tell them what you're doing, why you're doing it. I mean, why did you change? When I was with my last company, the products were so expensive. They were good, pretty good products, but they were so expensive that people could only buy them for a month or two, and that was it. And when you're in this kind of business, You want residual income. You want that month after month after month money coming in. And if the products are too expensive, it won't happen. You know, they just can't keep doing it for most people. So that's something that you could tell them, you know, why you switched companies or why you decided to join this company is because you've heard how amazing the products are and how affordable they are for everybody and how, you know, so many people's lives have been changed because of this. And then you want to tell them what you're excited about. If you don't have your own story to tell, use someone else's story in your upline. And that's one thing that we tell people to do all the time. You know, don't wait till you have a story. Start now. You know people on our team who have lost weight. And Ballard has lost 70 pounds. Courtney has lost 50-some, 60 pounds, like that. You know, people is crazy. So use their stories. You know, tell them, you know, my friend Ann, she looks incredible. She hasn't missed a day on this stuff. And, you know, just stories like that get people's attention. So that's number 3. You want to launch your business, the Facebook Live. Number 4, do all your business in Messenger, not on your timeline. What do I mean by that? Don't talk about the products. Don't talk about the pay. Don't talk about really anything on your timeline except for your post. Like you make a post, okay? You'll be like, your post says something like, who needs more energy? Who needs more mental focus, clarity? Who wants to lose some weight? Okay, so then they're gonna respond back, and they'll be like, I do, you know. And all you're gonna say right there on your timeline is, I'll message you, or hey girl, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm gonna message you about it. Something to that degree, okay? And that's it. And then you're gonna leave it be, and then you're gonna actually private message them in Messenger. That's where you'll tell them all that they need to know about it. The price, you know, the name of it, and all that stuff. You don't want to get anything on your timeline besides the actual post that you posted, okay? So number 4 was, do all your business in Messenger, not on your timeline. All right, so a few tips right here that we're gonna stop out and go over. One thing that our company is big with is never saying the name of our company or our products on social media. So never say the name of our products or our company on social media. Why do we do that? Because that just sounds crazy, because every other company does. And that's why every other company does do that. And that's why we're different. We want to keep the curiosity. If you put everything out there, you know, in your post or in your timeline, people don't have to come to you. They can totally read what Susie said and your answer to Susie and be like, I don't think that sounds like me. And she has truly no idea what it's about, because she's just going from a little post. So that's why you never want to talk about stuff on your timeline. You want people to come to you instead of going to Google. Because if they go to Google and look it up, Google's just going to place them with, you know, any old random person in the company. And we want them to come to you so that you'll get that sale, okay? So never say the name of the company or the product on social media, only in Messenger. Build relationships, guys. Comment on people's posts. When I say this, kind of goes hand in hand with my next tip, which is never cold message people. So many companies actually teach you to cold message, and that's just so not the way to do it anymore. People really get mad about that. Just had a girl message me like 5 minutes before this call about that. She was actually from It Works. So people are definitely watching what we're doing on our timeline. Building relationships. You don't just go friend somebody and then go message them and say, hey girl, have you heard of the new Happy Coffee? That's like a cold message pretty much. Friend them, scroll through their timeline, see what they got going on, see what you have in common with them, and post on their post on a post, you know, post on one of their posts, comment on it rather, comment on one of their posts. And then make a note of them. I actually have started writing down every person's name that I want to comment on every single day. And that sounds crazy. There is a thing in Facebook that you can do where you can put them in a different group so that you'll see all their stuff first. But I just write all mine down just so, and I can actually go back every day and put a check mark beside of it after I've commented on that person's post. So that's what I mean by building relationships. I have a bunch of baseball ones that I've been commenting on, and my son is big into baseball, so we have that in common. And I'm building that relationship, so they're going to be curious about who I am, commenting on their stuff all the time, and they're going to go to my page and check it out and see what I have going on. So that's why you want to start with your building relationships and never cold message anybody. Okay, so when you're on Facebook, Brittany mentioned this on one of our calls a while back, and she said, are you really working all day when you say that you've been on your phone working all day, or are you just scrolling through Facebook? And I found out, I mean, I really thought about that. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm scrolling too much. And I was scrolling, trying to find something that I could comment on. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what you want to do. You want to be building your relationships. You want to be looking for specific people. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So make sure when you're on Facebook, you know, you're actually working, not just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, because that takes all your time away. It really does. So be productive on the time that you're spending online, okay? Listen or read some form of self-development every single day. And by this, I mean like a book or an audio. Just do like 15 to 20 minutes. You don't have to do an hour of it. Just do it every single day. And a lot of people either start their day or they'll end their day with it. And it really will help your mind and your thoughts. And it really builds your self-confidence in a way that you really won't understand it until you do it. But I've got several books that I always recommend to people. And I can, you know, send those out to you guys if you want them. But you always want to do your self-development every single day. All right, and my last tip is don't be afraid to ask questions. That is how you learn. If your sponsor doesn't know the answer, go to the next person. If they don't know the answer, go to the next person or come to me. I will always be glad to help you guys out. Make sure that you know who your upline is, like the whole line up, not just your sponsor. Make sure you know who's above her and then who's above her, all the way up to me, and even, you know, Brittany's above me. So make sure that you know your upline so that you can find out the answers to any questions that you may have. So if you're afraid to ask questions, you will never learn it, okay? So don't be afraid. All right, so those are just a couple of tips that I was throwing out there in the middle there. So we're going back to number five. Be on our Team Unity call every Thursday night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Be on our Team Unity call every Thursday night. Whenever you join, you should get a getting started like paper or form type thing where Brittany literally laid out every single thing that you should do. If you have not received that, make sure you talk to your upline. They'll give that to you, and it tells you about Team Unity. That's our big team. That's Brittany's whole team. So I'm under Brittany. For those of you who don't know, I'm under Brittany. And Brittany's whole big team is Team Unity, okay? So they do a call every week, Thursday night, 9:00 Eastern time. It's a Zoom just like this one, but the number is different. So make sure that you see that getting started paper so that you'll know how to connect to that Zoom. Okay, so make sure you're on that call every Thursday. If you don't plug in, you won't succeed. I promise you that. You'll lose your focus through the week. And I think having at least one call a week truly brings that back together, because everybody's week's crazy. You know, we have work, we have family, we have kids, and your mind goes elsewhere. It gets off of your business. And when you do have that one call, it kind of brings you back together, and it really makes you focus back on the business and, you know, what you need to do and how you need to do it. And everyone catches up on the new stuff, okay, on these calls. So really plug in, okay? Oh, let me tell my child, night, baby. You can say hey. You don't want to say hey? Night, I love you. Love you. All right, guys, number 6. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about posting on Facebook. This is a biggie. When it comes to posting, make sure your upline sends you the Curiosity product idea page and the Curiosity business idea page. If you have no idea what that is, ask your upline. It's actually just 2 papers that we have some idea posts for you to use until you feel comfortable, you know, making up your own post or whatever. So when I have someone join, that's one of the first things I always send them. And I recommend everybody doing that to anyone who joins. Make sure that you're getting that out to them. All right, so when do we post? How do we post? I recommend, and this is how we all teach, recommend posting 3 times a day. And the best times to post are 6:30 to 8 o'clock a.m. That'll be your first post. Your second post would be like around 12 noon to 1. And then your third post would be around 6 p.m. to 7:30. So your first post, 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Second post, 12 noon to 1. Third post, 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, 7:30 p.m. Those are the most times of the day that people are on there scrolling and looking, okay? So when you post, don't post all about the coffee. Well, what do you post about? On those 3 posts, the posts that we recommend you doing daily are 1 coffee post, 1 engagement post, and 1 whatever post, okay? And the whatever post cannot be coffee. You could do like your family. You could do Lord, what's the word I'm looking for? An inspirational quote, or you could do something about the business, just not about the coffee. Someone actually complained about that the other day, and it was about someone on our team. She said that this person posts about 20 times a day, and they post all about coffee, and it drives them insane. So when I tell you that, I am being straight up, don't do it, because people will unfollow you, and that's what you don't want, is for somebody to unfollow you so they're not going to see your stuff, okay? So again, 1 curiosity post, 1 engagement post. What's an engagement post? An engagement post is, you know, you see these people all the time saying like, all right, girls, I'm about to go get my color done. What color do you think I should do? That's engagement, because they're reacting, they're interacting with you. They're going to say something back to you, and then you're going to comment back to them. You see, what's the best mascara out there? And the key to this is every single person that comments, you want to respond back to them. If they say, blonde girl, it's gonna look so good blonde, you'd be like, send something back, even if it's like a smiley face, or say, thanks girl. But it does not matter how many people comment, you have to respond. That's the whole key to this, because that tells Facebook that you guys are friends, and then your post will start showing up on their page, and that's what you want. I did one time. It was show me a photo of your dog. I got 300 and some comments on just that post, which is crazy good. But I had to go back and respond to every single one of them. And a lot of them, I just did a smiley face or a heart or stuff like that, because they're just cute pictures, you know. But that's engagement. That's reacting or interacting with the conversation with the post, okay? So one coffee post, and remember, don't say the name of the coffee. Don't say the name of the company. And when people join, I always send them a ton of pictures. I send before and after photos, and I send a bunch of like coffee images type things, or you can even Google coffee images and it'll bring up a ton of stuff. So if you need some ideas or if you need some coffee pictures, message me. I'll be glad to send them to you. So your coffee post, your engagement post, and then your whatever post. The business opportunity is every bit as important as the coffee post. So don't forget that. Make sure that you're doing business posts as well, not just coffee post, okay? And like I said, you can do a business one as your whatever post if you want. All right, let's see. Number 7. If I'm going too fast, somebody tell me. I'm trying to like repeat a lot so that you guys can write all this down. Number 7, set your smart ship up. Set your smart ship up. You must have a minimum of $40, okay? And you have to have that if you want to get paid. If you don't want to get paid, then you don't have to have your smart ship, but most everybody on here wants to get paid. I know that. So make sure that's the first thing that you do when you're just getting started is you get that smart ship set up. And what I've been doing is getting on with my new people on the phone and literally jumping on my computer on the phone with them, and I'm walking them through it exactly how to do it so that they'll feel comfortable, you know, telling their next person how to do it as well. And then that way you can kind of go over the back office and tell them a little bit about what I was there and, you know, kind of how it works or whatever. All right, so number 8, building your audience. Building your audience. And what I mean by this is you got to get your friends list up. I see a lot of people with 200 and 300 friends. That's never going to work. Never going to work. You've got to get your friends list up to about 4,000 friends. That's the 4,000 to 5,000 is where you want to be. You don't want to quite get to 5,000 so that you can add and delete friends. I'm always adding and deleting friends. But one thing that you do want to do is you don't want to just go through and add every single person that you see. I mean, be strategic about who you add. Like, go on their profile, and it takes a little bit of time, but go on their profile and look. And if they are somebody who, you know, cusses all the time, or they're sharing like, you know, non-appropriate stuff all the time, that's definitely not the kind of person that you want on your team. Okay. So don't even think about adding them. Just go on to the next person, and then you'll kind of, the more you do it, the easier it'll be. And you'll just kind of like scroll through and look, and you're like, oh yeah, I can kind of see her doing this or whatever. Add people who are from other companies. That's a biggie right there, because our company is so good and our products are so amazing that they're going to start seeing all your posts, and they're going to be like, you know, that's interesting. And so, yeah, so add people from other companies, because that's a good way to get them on your team.
Hey, Misty.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to say real quick, when you were telling everybody to set up their smart ship, one thing that I've been trying to do is I've moved mine back to the beginning of the month, because of the way that we get paid now, with it being the super affiliate. You're not going to be able to see your generational volume or your super affiliate status until your order processes. So I recommend doing it like at least by the 5th, so you know where you're at for the month. Just a side note.
That's a very good idea, actually. Thank you for bringing that up. So what she's saying here, guys, is whenever you do set up your smart ship, you can put whatever date you want in there. But the way our back office is, you won't be able to see all your numbers if your smart ship hasn't ran yet. And once you start building a team and you start getting some people, you know, some customers, you're going to want to know where you are in that number line and where you're going to fall, and, you know, what do you need to get to that number. So if you know, you should probably set your smart ship up somewhere before the 5th of the month, the 1st through the 5th. I think mine's on the 3rd, actually. And I recently just did this. I think it was last month. I finally changed mine. But yeah, that's a very good point. So make sure you get your smart ship set up the 1st through the 5th. All right, so going back to building your audience, you want to find people who are actually interested in this. And where you find that is you can go to different groups. There's like single moms who work from home, or people who want to make money, any kind of groups like that. Also, you want to follow, my 3 favorite ones that I follow are Brian Fryer, Ray Higdon, and Eric Worre. So that was Brian Fryer, Eric Worre, W-O-R-R-E, Worre, sorry, and Ray Higdon. Those are 3 very well-known social media people who they're all actual coaches. So follow those guys and go in there and start like reading through some of the comments and start friending people who are commenting in their post. Those people are obviously very active, you know, if they're actually commenting on these higher ups posts. So that's what I've been doing a lot lately, going in there, and those are the people that I'm writing down on my notepad. When I friend them, write their name down, and I make sure I comment on one of their posts every single day, and I check off that check mark, okay? So that's another good one that you can do. So make sure that you're going to those 3 and following them, okay? And the group thing is really good too. That's another place where you can build good relationships. Now, you can go into any group that you know, like. I'm in a couple baseball groups. I'm in a couple dog animal groups because that's my thing. But what I have noticed is that they're not really interested. I haven't gotten anyone that really came over or was interested in the coffee from those groups. But when I switched and started following these 3 guys and started doing what I'm doing, commenting on them, those particular people, every person that I friend, since I've switched up and started doing that, and I've really been able to tell a difference. So that's what I recommend doing. It's working for me, and it would work for you as well. Okay, and the other thing that I recommend doing here is joining rank makers. I actually did a challenge the other day. It just popped into my mind, and I said, you know, you guys, if you join rank makers today, you'll get a prize from me. And they haven't probably got their prize yet, so I'm not going to tell. Actually, I don't know if you know. Well, I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to ruin their surprise of what the prize is. But I did that challenge. Rank makers is a great group to join. It's $19.95 a month, and you can write it off on your taxes. It's Ray Higdon's group. It's called Rank Makers. Highly recommend you guys joining that because you're going to find phenomenal information there of how to do your business. Okay, he does videos and all kinds of stuff to help you get going. All right, anybody have any questions up to now? I know I've told you a lot, and I hope you have been able to keep up, but I'm not quite done. We don't have too much more, but before I go on, I do want to stop and open the lines for a minute. I'm going to unmute you all, and if you have any questions at all, please speak up. This goes back to when I said, don't be afraid to ask, okay? You're not going to learn if you don't ask. So we'll unmute you all now if anybody has any questions.
Misty, can you repeat the names of those 3 groups and maybe spell the last names?
Yes, the people are Brian Fryer and Amanda Jordan. If you will, type them in the chat group, please. It's Brian Fryer.
B-R-I-A-R?
B-R-I-A-N. Brian Fryer. And then Fryer is F-R-Y-E-R.
Fryer, okay.
And then the next one is Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon is Higdon.
Okay.
Amanda is typing them out now. And then the last one is Eric Worre. Eric Worre. And his last name is Worre.
Okay, thank you.
You are so welcome. Who else has questions?
So do we want to add people to our friends list, I guess, even that we don't know?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I know that's crazy because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like to do that. But trust me, you got to do it. And make sure that your profile is set to public.
Hey, Misty.
Uh-huh.
What is joining rank makers? What is that?
Rank makers. It's a group. It's at Ray Higdon, one of those guys that I was just speaking of. It's his.
Mhm.
It actually helps you rank in your business. That's his goal, and what he teaches is helping you learn how to rank up in your company.
Okay.
That's why it's called Rank Makers, and he does like phenomenal videos, and teaches you step by step of what you can do. He's actually doing a 14-day challenge right now. He just has a lot of very valuable information. Like I said, it's worth the $20, hands down, and it's a tax write-off every single month for your taxes.
Is the form for our taxes on the back office?
You'll get a 1099 at the end of the year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else has questions? Yeah, I know, Amanda, it's definitely true. Like she said, she knows it's scary, but your business will never grow on social media if you don't add people you don't know. That's just, the name of the game. And I look, when people friend request me, I look at their profile, and I have a ton of men who supposedly are who they say they are that friend request me, and I go to their page and they have like 2 pictures and they have no friends, they have no photos and nothing on their timeline. That's just a complete delete right there. Honestly, very few men do I accept, because very few men, I guess, really are into this. We have a few good men, but a lot of them just aren't into it yet. And that's another good thing that you can actually do. Get some men in, We have a few on our team, but for the most part, it's women. Any other questions before we move on?
Misty, I don't have a question, but I did want to share something that I put together for my team. I know a lot of times when people get started, they're kind of like, well, I know I have goals and I know I want to achieve, $500 or $1,000 a month, but they're kind of unsure on how to do that. And they kind of don't have like a roadmap to do. So I put together a 2-step process. It shows you exactly how to make $1,100 a month, what you need to do to make $1,100 a month. So if anybody's interested in that, I can share.
You're breaking up really bad, Courtney.
It's up to y'all.
You broke up there on that last part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said if
Can you hear me now, girl?
Yeah, you said if anybody wants more info, and then we lost you.
Yeah. If you want to know like the step-by-step, super simple, then I'd be happy to if y'all are interested.
Yeah, I think everybody would want that. So why don't you do a post about that in Team on Facebook? That'd be awesome.
Okay. I sure will.
That'd be great. So
Thank
guys,
you.
make sure you check back a little later on Team Elite Facebook, and she will put that up. That step-by-step roadmap, okay?
So this might be a dumb question, but
There's never a dumb question, I promise.
Are we automatically on Team Elite, or is that something we had to sign up for?
Team Elite is my big team. All of you guys are on my big team, no matter who you signed up under. So, like I was talking about earlier, Team Unity is Brittany's whole team, okay? So I'm under Brittany, so my whole team is Team Elite. And whenever you sign someone up, you will go to Team Elite and add them, and then I will approve them.
Gotcha. So I'm on it then.
You're already on it because you joined under me, so I've already added you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank
Yes.
you.
And remember, guys, there's never a dumb question. I promise. If somebody else is thinking it, they just won't. They just won't ask it. All right, guys. So let's finish up. We have a few more to go through, and then we're going to review, and then we'll get off here. So I'm going to mute you all again. All right. So we are on number 9. Number 9 is follow up. Follow up. I don't know if you've ever heard this or not, but the fortune is in the follow-up, you know, and that's huge. The fortune is in the follow-up. You can send out your samples. You can hand them out on the streets, however you do it. If you don't get their information and they just get your information, I promise you they're not going to follow up with you. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to follow up with you. So that's a good reason why you need to download our Elopreneur app. If you haven't heard of that yet, it's called Elopreneurs, and it's in your app store. It's free. So go to your app store and download Elopreneurs. And in there, you actually can hand your phone to somebody and say, hey, will you put your information in here? You know, and that way I can follow back up with you. So that's a good way to do it. Or you can just, you know, write their name, phone number, and email address down, or however you want to do it. But you definitely want to get their information so that you can follow up with them. Another thing with sending out samples, do not be afraid to charge people. Now, if it's your bestest friend and your mom and dad or whatever, and you want to give them to them, that is fine. But when it comes to Facebook and sending out samples, because we've done so many posts about if you haven't tried Happy Coffee, you know, who hasn't tried the Happy Coffee? I'll send you a sample. And when we first began last year, we actually gave out samples all the time, gave them out. We thought that was the best way, but we have found out that it's not. Most people, when you just give them a sample, has no value to them. They half of the time don't try it, they lose it, or they just forget to even take it out of their pocketbook, you know? So when someone pays a little bit of money for something, it puts a value on that product. Therefore, they are going to try it. And one thing I can guarantee you is if someone won't spend $10 on a sample, they are not going to buy your product anyway. I promise you that. So if they're not going to spend that money, they're not going to buy your product. So don't even waste your time or waste your product, okay? So I only do samples. When I make my own samples, I only sell 3 for $10. Okay, if they want more than that, we have the 6-day kits that they can buy right from your website for $30. Okay, I do not recommend selling more than 3 at a time. You can do whenever you join, if you actually buy a kit, we do have the shareables. Those are 2 in there for $10, and it has the 2 Xanthamax and the 2 coffees for $10. They're already put together or whatever. Don't be afraid to charge for your samples, okay? Whenever I make my own samples, I put 2 Xanthamax. Normally I do 2 and then 2 coffees. Or if they want to do the 3, I'll do the 3 and 3. But that's it. I don't do any more. If they want more, just tell them to buy the 6-day sample on the line, okay? When I do my own sample kits, I get these little tiny baggies about yay big from Amazon. They have all kinds of sizes, so make sure you get a small one because it's a lot of envelope if not, or a lot of baggie if not. I put the Xanthamax in there, and hang on, I went to the dollar store and got this big old thing of bubble wrap. I cut off a little square. So I put my Xanthamax in the little baggie. I roll up the baggie, okay? I cut off a little square of the bubble wrap and wrap it around the baggie with the Xanthamax in it, and I put tape around it. I do that so that the Xanthamax don't explode in the mail. If you're just doing your normal, your 2 or 3 samples, you can put them in a normal envelope, about like yay big, or you can do the longer envelope, which is about like that. Put 2 to 3 stamps on it, depending on where it's going. I have a white piece of paper that I have typed up how to take the product. It tells them, you know, start out with half of a pack because you don't want anybody to get too jittery at first if they're not used to it. Or I have even given them a few options if they don't like coffee, like me, on how to take it or how to make it to where it tastes better to them. Highly recommend putting that in there, okay? I just made it on my own computer. Nothing special. It does have my name, my phone number, and my website on it. And then I put that all in that little envelope and send it out, okay? So does that, everybody follow me on that, the sample, sending out sample things?
This is hot.
I got you guys unmuted. I know I just kind of said a lot there about the samples. Y'all kind of get that, what I'm talking about? Yes, no, I don't know.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, right. Follow up with people. Whoop. Girlfriend in the shower. You best be careful. Whoops. Okay, so following up with at least 5 people every day. When you're following up, make sure you follow up with at least 5 people every day. Write down every person that you give a sample out to, write their name down in some kind of a notebook. I have a notebook just for samples, and that way it doesn't get too confusing and you don't get lost, okay? So make sure you're following up with at least 5 people every day. All right, so we've been on here for about 50 minutes. I'm going to do a quick review. These are just the top 7 things that you want to do every single day. Top 7 things you want to do every single day. Number 1, self-development. Number 1, self-development. Number 2, prospecting. Number 2, prospecting. Trying to get new people on your team every day. Number 3, new friend request. Make sure you're sending out that 30 to 50 new friend requests every single day. Number 1, self-development. Number 2, prospecting. Number 3, new friend request. Number 4, follow up with at least 5 people every day. Follow up with at least 5 people every single day. Number 5, your post on Facebook. Your post on Facebook, Instagram, or any social media outlet that you're on. The more, the better, okay? Number 6, Facebook Lives. If you are scared to death to do a Facebook Live, contact your sponsor, ask them to do it with you. That's a cool way to do it, especially at first, so you're not on there by yourself. And really, it's like, why are we afraid to do them? Because it's just like you're sitting here looking at a blank screen, really. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're talking to yourself, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I can just see a few people's faces around the edges here, but for the most part, you're just looking at your computer screen. So kind of think of it like that when you're doing your lives. And I highly, highly, highly recommend before you do your live to make yourself notes. Like for this call, tonight, I sat down and wrote out 4 pages of notes of what I was going to talk about. If I wouldn't have, I would have completely went blank. I would have left out a ton of stuff that I really wanted to talk about. So make sure that you write out what you're going to talk about, because you will forget. Okay, so number 1, self-development. Number 2, prospecting. Number 3, new friend request. Number 4, follow up with at least 5 people every day. Number 5, curiosity post, or your post on Facebook, not just curiosity, engagement, and then whatever. Number 6, your Facebook Lives. And number 7, which is going to be the craziest one, sounding one of all, go to everyone who has a birthday. You can pre-record this, okay? You can just send the same song to everyone, but you sing happy birthday to every person whose birthday is that day. Go on like your phone or whatever and just sing general happy birthday song. Don't put anyone's name in there. And yeah, so sing it. I don't care if you can't sing. I don't care if you can sing. Do it, because I know it sounds crazy, but they'll remember you. And that's the point here, is so that they'll remember you. They'll be like, oh, somebody's going to have a birthday. How good, how crazy is that? And they'll go to your page probably right then, and be like, who is this chick? So sing happy birthday. All right. And the very last thing, so you all got those things down: self-development, prospecting, new friend request, follow up with at least 5 people every day, your posts on social media, your Facebook Lives, and sing happy birthday. Very last thing I want to talk about is third-party validation. What is it and how does it work? Third-party validation. So you're new. You really have no idea what to say about the product or how to talk about it. So when you make a post and people start commenting on it, you're going to message them and you're going to be like, hey girl, I always say hey girl, but you ain't got to say hey girl. That's just me. I'm like, hey girl, this stuff is amazing. Have you heard about it yet? The new Happy Coffee? And just like general talk. It's making people lose weight. The amount of energy it gives you is crazy good. And they're going to be like, whatever. And then they're going to want to know more right then. They're going to be like, okay, so what does da-da-da-da? And you're going to say, well, I don't know about that, but I'm going to put us in a 3-way chat with my girl, Misty. And she can explain it way better than I can, or something to that degree. Okay. So your goal is to get me or whoever enrolled you in a message, whether it be on a 3-way chat, on Messenger, or on the phone. Okay. Because 99.9% of the time, when you have that third party validation, you're going to seal the deal and they're going to get that sale. Okay. It's just something about whenever someone else alludes to the same fact of what someone's already telling them, but this third person comes in and is edifying it even more, it just speaks value of that product. Okay. So make sure that you are focusing on getting whomever you're talking to, whether it be about the product or the business, you want to get them in a third party call or chat. And if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to, start a chat on Messenger, just ask your upline and they will be glad to explain it to you. All right, guys, one more time, I'm going to unmute the lines. And anyone have any questions before we get off of here? Please speak up. Yeah, Snapchat is awesome. I don't do Snapchat. I honestly don't even know anything about Snapchat, but that's just another social media outlet that you guys can use. There's tons of them out there. Use them all. I mean, the more, the better. Any other questions or anything that anyone wants to comment or say before we get off here? April. That's funny. But so true. Well, guys, I hope you have found some value in this call tonight. I hope I've answered some questions for you. If you guys think of something later that you want to talk about, please feel free to message me. I am always available to help you guys with anything and everything. And yeah, so make sure you're on the Zoom call on Thursday night with Brittany. And then we will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for being on. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye.
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 Bye. Where'd that thing go?